Eric Bailey of the Tulsa Whirl, and then go to Ryan Aber. Eric?
Hey, Brayden, I was just wondering, now that Spencer has been named the starter, what's been the mood like for the offense as you prepare for the season opening game?
I think regardless of who was named the starter, our move is going to stay the same. We're a very focused group right now, and we all have one goal, and that's to be national and Big 12 champs. And we're excited to play. I mean, we're blessed to be able to get to play right now, so we're excited as ever to play, honestly.
Okay, Ryan Aber with the Oklahoman, and then Jason Kersey.
Yeah, Brayden, specifically about Spencer, what kind of growth have you seen from him over the last year, and maybe what are some of the things that really stand out to you about the way he's performed to this point?
He's a great leader, and I think being with Jay Hurts last year really kind of prepped him to be in that role. But honestly, we all know about the intangibles, the arm strength and everything like that, but he's a great leader, and he's done a great job getting us ready to go day in and day out, bringing energy to the office, a little, Baker Mayfield energy, gets everybody hyped to play.
Jason Kersey with the Athletic, and then Joe Bettner.
Hey, Brayden, you're in that position, that H-back position that, everybody, it's so versatile in the OU offense. It's been so important. Does your versatility maybe come more into play with all the COVID stuff because you don't really know where you might end up being needed? Is that something that's been talked about?
I mean, we're still doing our just H-back stuff. We're always involved in multiple things, in the offense, and we could do whatever the coach wants us to do. So if coach says, do whatever, we'll do it. So I think, and that's not only for me, but for a lot of guys in our position room, we're all pretty versatile guys. So I think that, we can play wherever we need to.
Okay, let's go to Joe Bettner with the Norman transcript, and then John Hoover.
Brayden, just to go off of that, I'm curious, side of like tight end to H-back role, what's position that you feel like you could maybe thrive at, whether that be the offensive or defensive side of the ball, if it got to that point?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
I was just based off that last question. I was wondering, is there a position on offense or defense that you could see yourself thriving in outside of tight end or H-back if it came to a point where you needed to be in that role?
Honestly, I always joke around with my mom and everything that I could play whatever I needed to, even if I needed to play quarterback. Honestly, I feel like I could play whatever we needed to play, and offense or defense if it came down to it.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Okay, John Hoover with SI Sooners, and then Bob Prisbillo.
Hey, Brayden. I wonder if you could illustrate for us. I'm trying to get a feel for what your off-season was like, what kind of challenges or obstacles you had to overcome in your own personal training, and then maybe differences that you've seen on campus and in the meeting rooms and in practice and things like that. How football life for a student athlete right now is just different than it was in 2019.
As far as the off-season work, I would have to say that that's my favorite part, the favorite time of year, honestly. For an athlete, that's when you get to kind of sculpt your body and make your body ready for the season. And that's my favorite thing to do. And with COVID, we got a lot of, I wouldn't say off time, but time without, online classes and everything. So you kind of got a little bit more time, in regards to not having to travel to classes and being at home and everything like that. So I took it, upon myself to get more reps and more workouts and everything like that. And as far as changes in regards to COVID, we're doing, during the quarantine, we did a lot of virtual meetings. We did them every day, and we got a lot of good work off of that. Young guys got to get exposed to the offense early. It's a little different walking around with mask all day, but that's just part of the deal. But other than that, there's a few tweaks, but other than that, it's business as usual, pay attention to the details, and we'll be ready to roll in a couple days.
Great. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, Bob Prisbillo with Sooner Scoop, and then Garen Emig.
Yeah, Brayden, in the second half of the season, you really start to find your groove. Was there any particular reason as to why the light bulb clicked then, or was it just you started to grow more comfortable with everything?
I just, I don't know. We got a very deep HVAC room, and I just think that we're all ready to make plays when our number is called, and my number was called later on in the season. And I just think I was ready. I don't know if there's a specific reason for any of that, but my number was called during the latter end of the season, and all of us are ready to make plays. So that's what we got to do.
Okay, we'll go to Garen Emig of the Tulsa World, and then Brandon Drum.
How you doing, Brayden?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I want to make sure I have this right. Did you start your own voter registration drive back in June on social media?
Yeah. So we had since I was in my hometown of Fort Worth, I started one intentionally thinking that we're gonna move it over to Norman, which we're still trying to figure things out with that. But I just, at the time, since we were all quarantined and everything, I just made it possible where people knew how to go online and vote and be able to get ballots and send them in and everything like that. Just kind of the steps of everything. And I put it on social media. And then, we want to take more steps, but with the season getting closer and, COVID going around and everything like that, it's probably going to have to we're going to have to look at it a different angle, but yeah, I did. Yes, sir.
Real quick, what prompted you to do that?
A lot of times speaking just in general with youth and people of my race don't know a lot about voting as far as when most of my youth think of voting, they think about presidency and everything like that.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about municipal and everything. We're talking about all types of voting. So I just wanted to kind of get some knowledge out to my community about voting and, regardless of whoever you vote for, I don't care. I just wanted to make sure that what is going on and how your voice can be heard.
Okay, very cool. Thanks. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to make a slight change of the order here. I see James is back from a commercial break briefly. James, Hale, do you have a question?
Hey, Mike, thank you. I appreciate it. Nick, how's it going? Brayden, how's it going? Brayden, you played a new position last year, and I'm curious how much you've grown since then. How do you feel about it? How do you feel things are moving forward for you?
Yes, I felt like last year I was pretty comfortable in the position, but coming back after a year of being in it, a year of, training and everything like that, I feel like I'm even more comfortable. I feel like I am actually ready to go. And it's crazy to say that because, like I said, I felt comfortable at first. But after a year after a year of everything, now I feel really confident in my abilities, and I've had time to work on it. I've had time to, study the details of the offense and everything, and even learn, about defenses and everything like that. So I feel super confident right now.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we'll get to Brandon Drum with OU Insider, and then Jenny Carlson.
Hey, Brayden, thanks for doing this. Talk about your relationship with Austin Stogner and Jeremiah Hall. I know you guys battle each and every day. And also kind of talk about the differences in you guys' skill set and kind of what each one of you guys bring to the table and how you feel like that's going to help the offense.
Honestly, I feel like we're one of the more closer groups on the position. Position groups on the team. We don't really look at each other as competition. I know you said battling and everything, but we just see it as like iron sharpens iron. And we love each other up for that. Stog is a big body tight end, kind of boxes out people, you know what I'm saying? Great hands, terrific hands. So in regards to that, we got a little bit different skill sets from talking about Stogner and I. But, we all can do everything that each other can do. We just slightly vary because of size, But other than that, we all, like I said, we all can do what each other can do, and we're all confident in each other, and we all love each other up, and we look at it as a team thing. And when the one makes a play, we're happy for him, and when the other one makes a play, we're just as happy as for him. You know what I'm saying?
We'll go to Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman, and then Kerry Murdoch.
Hey, Brayden, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, I wanted to follow up on what Garen was asking you about. You were talking about the fact that when you started that voter registration drive, you felt like younger people might not see it as important. You obviously do. I know I've heard stories of older generations, how serious they take voting, especially in the Black community. How did that get passed on to you? Where did you get that awareness of the importance of voting?
Kind of like what you said, my parents and grandparents and everything fought for rights, especially my grandmother and my great-grandmother. I got to see it. I got a chance to see her live. And like you said, it's so serious in the Black community, and seeing the seriousness in my great-grandmother's face when she actually fought for rights like that, and it just kind of hit home for me. So doing a little bit of my own research, educating myself, and then seeing what my elders, told me and everything, it just became one of those things where I felt like I wanted to make it a big part of my life and, spread it on to some of my teammates and other in my generation.
What did it mean for you then I know after you guys marched last Friday, news got out that everybody registered on the team to vote. What did that mean personally to you?
It meant the world. We're blessed to have a coach a head man that cares about his players and actually wants us to have a voice. And for coach to have that initiative for us to, sit up there and take time out of a busy schedule to vote, it meant the world to me, honestly. And I can't thank him enough for that.
Thanks, Brayden.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to Kerry Murdoch with Sooner Scoop and the Sports Animal.
Hey, Brayden, I know you guys as a team, you've been through a lot, even since you got back to campus. I know Lincoln talked earlier this week about how he's starting to see the players get better in practice and things paying off a little bit more now that you feel it's real and you're closer to a game. Can you talk about just kind of what it's been like going through this grind, both mentally, physically, emotionally, and how hard it's been to kind of focus until it's gotten closer to a reality of a season?
Yes, sir. I think generally speaking, for everybody on the team, I think it's been kind of tough. We're battling, racial injustices, and we're battling a pandemic, and we're battling national disasters and everything like that. So I think there's a lot of distractions, but I think we've done a good job of staying focused, and I think we've done a good job of kind of carrying on what we have on the field, the next play mentality. And, if we lose some guys or whatever the case may be, we just keep on going. And that's kind of been our mentality. And, it's been tough, but I think I think we've never really saw that football was out of the picture. We always felt like we were going to play, and we were just, consistent on those goals that we have.
Did seeing kind of what went on in the bubble in the NBA about how the players walked away a little bit but decided, it was important for them to play, you think that rubbed off on some guys too, that you can, have a message with playing football at the same time as well?
I think all athletes strive to use their platform to their advantage. And I think that we came up with a good plan, as Coach Riley said, together, and, stuck to it. And I think it'll make an impact, or it has made an impact.